Cool, we going live. Check this YouTube here real quick. Live. So, good day, good evening, good morning, good afternoon. All depends on where you're located. I want to welcome you to another USFL League Owners Box. Myself, Mark Gates. I got two guests with me. One is no stranger to the show. The other one is a brand new owner of the league and also new to the show. For those watching, we have Ownage. Chase is his real name. The owner of the Titans. Started off strong early this season, but then came up short a little bit due to some injuries and just getting used to the league, but still remain competitive. Welcome to the show, good brother. How you doing?
Doing great.
Thank you for definitely being a guest. And then on the other screen, we had a guy who is no stranger to the show. This season that just passed, I called him the greatest show on turf. Even though they came up short, like myself, to the NFC champions, the Green Bay Packers. We have WAP on the show. WAP, what's going on with you?
Oh, nothing right now, man. No.
WAP, can you hear me?
Yeah.
No, there you go. I can hear you now, good brother. Welcome to the show. Thank you for being a guest on this episode, Owners Box episode 12. Let me just jump in real quick. Let's start with the Titans. Give me your background, man. Give us how long you've been playing Madden, and then how long you are you usually a MUT guy, head-to-head guy, a CFM guy, and then if you are a CFM guy, how is our league compared to any other league you currently played in?
Well, I've been playing in leagues for. I've been playing Madden forever, but in leagues, this is probably my 4th year in a row. I've been running with the same, usually just one league every year, running with the same crew that I actually help run that league. Then I got, actually, funny thing is about the Bears owner is it was just this year that I actually brought him into that league and introduced him to competitive play. And he loved it so much that within a couple weeks he was in 4 different leagues. So he loves it a lot more than I do, apparently. But I like competing. As far as that goes, my main league, I sporting the Cowboys. That's my team. I'm a Texas boy, but mainly grew up in Kansas.
Okay. So how does our league, the USFL league, compare to the league that you were running? Are you still in that league?
Yeah.
Okay. So how does our league compare as far as in competition goes to that league?
It's real stiff. Like when I got brought into this one, I was just coming off of a Super Bowl loss with the Cowboys, and came in here. I'm like, all right, I made it to the Super Bowl. I'll probably wipe the floor with these guys or whatever, but keep it low key. I ain't gonna try and jump in the chat like some of the other guys. But yeah, I jumped in here and found out. I think my first win was versus computer. Second was a forced win because I didn't feel like playing the computer again, and then beat the third user. So I went 3-0, and then after that I started hitting back to back to back. Just people I didn't think would show up that I didn't really know. They just started beating me and stuff. So then I tried to bounce back. Ended up 9-7, but probably should have been 6-9. If I didn't get those 2 forced wins, that probably would have lost. If we played otherwise, but yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of people do that. Yeah, and a lot of people I think do that. They when you play in multiple leagues and you're successful in multiple leagues, you try to transfer that success into that new league. I mean, immensely I will too, but until you really actually get in the mix and start mixing it up with people, it then becomes a different game. You did have the Cowboys in that seat. The Cowboys compared to the Titans are 2 totally different teams. and then you were throwing that team, like you didn't really get a chance to put that team together and things like that. But you still did amazing to go 9-7, even just have that team tossed to you. So this year will be like, last year was like your rookie year. This is like your sophomore year. So this year is really like the year where it's like, okay, what is the Titans going to do? Was that 9-7? That's where he's going to stay. Is he going to improve? Is he not? Things like that. Shout out to the AFC for winning the Super Bowl. The Chiefs, definitely brought that one home. So now it's like 2-1 NFC. He stayed low key. I was on him. I was on him hard. All owners box, all 11 episodes prior to this one. He kept his head down. He fought and ended up winning the Super Bowl. Came back from 14-2, which was pretty dope. So I think that's kind of the same mentality you have too, Titans, where you want to stay under the radar and just want to win and then surprisingly pop up and just end up in the playoffs. Am I correct?
Yep, that's basically how it went.
Yeah. Yeah. The tough thing here about in this league, man, it's a bunch of Cowboys owners, man. I mean, Cowboys fans. So unless you can put some crazy deal together to get one of the owners to swap teams with you, I don't think it's going to happen. It took me like 4 seasons to get the Falcons because that's my team. So good luck when trying to get that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you said that the Bears owner brought you into the league, correct? You and the Bears somehow know each other?
Yeah, we work together.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Shout out to the Bears, man. He's trying to now move Matt Ryan off the block. I don't think, on the block. I think he should just go ahead and rock out with him for this last season and try to let Matt Ryan take him and the Bears as far as he can, unless he's drafts some type of star quarterback. Watt, man, talk to me. Had a great season, man. Came up short in the playoffs, man. Let's both of you guys, let's address these playoffs and how to get you guys' thoughts on the playoffs. You Titans from a spectator, and me and myself, Wop, as guys who played in it, man. Let me hear your overall thoughts. Wop, you go first.
I'm glad somebody in NFC to win, because I didn't want to hear that. But yeah, the playoffs, they was good playoffs. Every game was a good game. It's just I don't like how I ended up, but that's really about it.
Yeah. What about you, Chase? What are your thoughts about the playoffs?
I didn't really watch too much. The only game I really watched besides the Super Bowl was your game, and I think it was I think Ty was in there, and me and Ty were going back and forth in the Twitch chat, watching the stream about things you were kind of doing that you just kept trying stuff that weren't really working. Like you kept trying Green Bay's middle user deep down the middle, and he kept rocking back there and just taking it, jump balling it. I was like, why does he keep doing it?
So
I think.
Go ahead.
I think if you just from a spectating standpoint, I think if you might have had more luck if you were trying to do 50-50 just streaks to Julio that whole time.
That's an interesting perspective. That's not normally my game. So to break down my game, I know it was shocking to see me lose, and especially lose in that fashion. To be honest with you, man, I jumped in early. One of the Texas user, because when I throw the ball, so it depends on who the person is. When I throw the ball, I feel like a lot of people can't out-use me. Like, at least what I mean by that is when I fight for the position to go catch the ball, because I manually catch the ball myself. I don't really let the computer do it. So, like, on the very first interception, that was like a 50-50 jump because I seen him use that route to Julio. I mean, I should have checked it down. I didn't. That was a force. And then I kind of dug myself in a hole early that first half, which was down 20-3. But then I still didn't feel like I was out the game. I think Ty had reached out to me and was saying that the irony of this and that kind of like motivated me to go ahead and bring the comeback back. And I felt like I had to come back to that last interception, where it was, to me, it was like a lag input where I didn't even hike the ball or I didn't throw the ball. It was just like I was trying to audible. I couldn't call timeout. I couldn't pause it. And then Luck hiked the ball and he threw it right to the middle, which was fine. I mean, no, that's no excuse. I should have been in that situation. So hats off to him. He won that game. He earned that win, which is fine. I know that moving forward, that will not be happening again. I won't put myself in that position again. I'll just definitely take whatever he gives me. It was a lot of cover two, which is fine. I've been beating cover two all year. a lot of cover three, all that stuff. I just been beating. I just got so deep in the hole. I dug myself so deep in the hole, and when it, I just can't do that, especially in that game and in the playoffs. I've been speaking about that, all owners boxes. So,
I mean, you had a chance. You had a chance to win.
Yeah, I did. We broke that last round.
Yeah.
When the running back kept 6 players, I just knew like, okay, that's just mad.
Yeah, he did it to me both games.
I was just like, okay, ain't nothing I could do to come back, So, but yeah, I'll definitely take your advice, man. I probably won't do the 50-50 jump ball because that's not my game. And it's funny you said that because as far as he did on that, and a lot of guys been asking, is he any good without that?
It worked.
A lot of guys been asking me that, like, yo, can Watt play? Can the Redskins play without the jump ball?
It got me to the playoffs.
Right. He says it gets into the playoffs. But then in the playoffs, that tactic didn't work. So
that's just because of who I ran into. Now, if there's anybody else, what are they going to do? Are they team equipped enough? His team matches mine perfectly. But will anybody else's team be able to match my team?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I think it was some other disappointing teams in the playoffs. The Raiders, huge shocking loss to the Browns. I mean, shout out to the Browns who did their damn thing. He's been doing this thing all year. His quarterback has been phenomenal. He was, in my opinion, he's that team's MVP. But even Isaiah Correll, he dominated that game. I mean, the Browns really impressed me how he played the Raiders. I didn't even think that game was going to be close. The same thing with the Chiefs beating the Jets. You couldn't have told me that the Chiefs were going to beat the Jets because Cleveland's been playing all good, playing good all year, especially after that loss to the Pats early on in the season. But Adam really locked down the middle of the field with Eric Berry. I didn't go back to watch all of the Super Bowl yet, but when I seen it, I mean, Eric Berry has been great for him all season. And even Doc been telling me that secretly in like DMs, like, yo, Eric Berry, don't if you make it to the Super Bowl, don't throw it his way, things like that.
Yeah, Eric Berry jumped on everything.
Yeah, they said he jumped on everything. Then we had Saints. I know the Saints losing the Seahawks in that type of fashion was surprising me, especially when they beat the Seahawks earlier in that year. But I knew that the Seahawks was coming to play. I don't think that the Saints was just ready for that level of intensity and things like that. Jags losing early was a shock to me. But again, the Browns and the Chiefs just played like they really wanted it. They wanted it a little bit more. I think the guys like myself, Cletus, and Raiders, we were just expecting a certain level of dominance that we had all season. And it just in that time it just didn't match up. So shout out to the guys who did their thing in the playoffs. Even the Green Bay Packers. He didn't win the Super Bowl, so I don't have to mention his name. So I'm still gonna ice him out until then. Shout out to him. Y'all know that's funny, right, Chase? But I'm a man of my word, man. He beat me, and he didn't win it, so I had to say his name. Let's talk about the offseason, man. Titans, what are you looking for in this offseason? I know you said you had some cap issues, man. You spoke behind the scenes. I tried to get a deal done with you. What's your offseason looking like?
Nothing really. Just looking at it. There might be one person I might try to throw a bid on, but it's not going to be a high bid. So, probably not going to get anything from free agency. I traded away all my top picks. Not going to be able to make the draft. Don't really see anything too special in the draft coming up.
Yeah. So this year, your rebuild year, you want to like you're gonna have to take a rebuild.
I'll take it as far as it'll go. We'll say it.
Yeah.
We'll say it.
Okay.
But yeah, I got a lot of top guys that are going to need re-sign, so I need to save as much money up as I can to get those guys to keep them on board.
Yeah, is Mariota on that list? Guys you might have to try to save?
No, Adoree Jackson's on there. Corey Davis is on there. I think that's it for like the high upper echelon players. So they're going to want massive contracts coming off their rookie deals.
Yeah, I just lost 2 guys from my team. Actually, 3 guys. Austin Hooper, the tight end. DeAndre Campbell, the linebacker. And then another linebacker, Tyler Mercedes or something like that.
You franchise tag Deion Jones?
Yeah, I had to franchise tag Deion Jones. Wasn't no way. No way impossible.
Why you let him hit, man? I wanted him, man.
Yeah, I wanted him.
The league wants him. So I had to franchise tag him, so now I gotta cut whatever I gotta cut them to keep him this year. So I did make some power moves. I did make 3 trades or 2.5. I'm waiting on to see if this third one goes through. For those who don't know, I brought Miles Jack from Jacksonville to Atlanta, which I think was a huge trade for myself because I never get trades. And then to get that type of star trade, star power is going to be phenomenal. So I'll have him, Miles Jack, Deion Jones, Vic Beasley, and Duke Riley as my starting linebackers. Also reached out to the Browns and snatched their second tight end, who's Hammond. Hammond is a guy, in my opinion, is low. Nobody so under the radar, but his rating is so decent to me. Like he could just fit right into my offense. So, shout out to them 2 owners, man, for helping me get them deals done. I really tried to get Hunter Henry. The Chargers wasn't really biting. He was kind of he was indecisive. Yeah, let's do it. Let's not do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Like, I feel like I just done.
That's how you did me.
But I think Titans made a deal, right? That's what you traded your picks to, right, Titan?
Yep. He as soon as I posted my picks were up, he's like, I'm very interested in that. I've never done something like that. And I was like, yeah. He's like, he's like, he's just interested in the first up, but I just shot him a deal. I was like, hey, I'll just give you my top 2 for next year's 1, 2, and 3. And he looked at it and saw that I was like 19th pick, which he's the 20th, so he'll have back-to-back picks in the first 2 rounds. Granted, he has his original first and second. Yeah, so I traded him my 1 and 2 this year for his 1, 2, and he shot me back a deal for instead of a 3 to do a 4. So I took that one. So I got his 1, 2, and 4 for next year, plus all my 7 picks.
Oh yeah, I think and we talked about it, man. I think you actually made out better in that deal because in my opinion, I think this draft class is a little soft, and depending on what positions you need, and to have multiple picks, regardless of what he does this year, you can't really put a value on that. A lot of guys are saying like me, I was trying to trade my 30th pick. They were like, well, you got 30th pick, but I'm like, the way that this Madden works, it doesn't really matter if I have 30th, 29th, because there's so many gems in them later rounds, deeper in them later rounds or just deeper in the rounds periods where, I'll take 2 or 3 picks in that same round versus one, the number 1 pick. All right, because you get more valuable players and more valuable pieces. And that's what I was trying to get across to the Chargers. I offered him 2 first-round picks. Actually, I think I offered him 3, like 2, my first one from this year, next year, and another pick. And he was like, no. I'm like, oh, well, all right, cool. I'm on to the next owner.
What you're trying to get?
What am I still trying to get?
Yeah, I mean, what you're trying to get from the Chargers?
I was trying to get Hunter Henry.
The 2 first?
Yeah, because I don't have no tight end. I lost Austin Hooper. And I needed a guy who could just come right in and make a difference.
I would get you Jordan Reed for them. For 2 first?
I already traded my first to that's how I got Miles Jack. I traded him Brian Poole and my first for Miles Jack.
Oh, that was a steal.
Yeah, it was a steal. I mean, Brian Poole, because the Jags were trying to find a replacement for Earl Thomas. Not saying that they're gonna replace him, but he needed somebody who can help play the backfield with him or help take his place. I've been working on Brian Poole since I got there, so his stat he can start anywhere. You know what I'm saying? He makes plays, so it was easy for me. He just wasn't gonna start over Ricardo Allen or Neal. So we had sat down, had a conversation. I told him thank you for his service. Shot him on that plane. You know what I mean? We welcomed welcome Miles Jack. Him and Deion Jones should be nice. In the middle, I see that you're trying to grab Houston off the free agency list.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you gonna try and go and snag Hooper again?
I really don't have no money. I really have no money to do that. I mean, I see the Panthers made a deal. I mean, I'm gonna wait till the last hour, and it's funny. Let's talk about that because the advance is so far in advance, and I know I'm not gonna make no offer until like 9:58. You know what I'm saying? Just to. Because if I make an offer now, then we start this bidding war. I don't even want to do all that. You know what I mean?
Remember last year we tried to do that?
Yeah. Well, I couldn't. I mean, you came in with new owner money because I think the cap penalties were erased, and I knew that I wasn't gonna try to like outbid you for Buchanan and Kendrick. So I was like, it's fine for me. Plus I already still had good linebackers. I just didn't think Deion Jones would turn out all my offers. You know what I'm saying? So plus I was trying to be cheap anyway because I didn't really have that much money. So this year I franchise tagged him, and we'll see what happens this year. If I can't sign this year, then we'll see what happens.
Yeah, this year's game's weird for that because I know in previous Maddens or whatever, a lot of these, like, no matter who it is, if they're like 80 overall and above, they usually waited till like the last advance in free agency before they decided to sign with anybody, even if it was just one person bidding on them. But I noticed this year, pretty much everyone signs on the first day.
Yeah,
it's kind of crazy.
Yeah. I think So that's what I'm saying. So it's very crucial to do that at the last hour, the last minute, the last couple of minutes. But I will try to shoot my shot for Austin Hooper if I can. There's some couple guys on the list. I think it's one or two players that are like I'm trying to see if I'll grab because I'm not gonna make the draft, and if I do make the draft, I only have third, fourth, fifth, and seventh pick left. So I ain't doesn't really bother me none. So I know there was the Steelers just reached out to me and said the commissioner said he doesn't want to see no low ball bids. That's respectable, but if you put that money out there and they take it, it's hard to not take that low ball. I don't know how low is. I don't think I don't think players accept offers on the red, right?
Yeah, like what exactly is a low ball deal?
Yeah, I don't think players accept offers on the red, and that's when I think what he's mentioning or speaking about. Like, don't try to steal a player if he's on the red, or low ball him like that. I think it could probably be yellow or green.
Yeah,
I haven't seen.
I've got a lot of guys where I would just I'll just keep inching it up until he hit just I think it's 50 points. It turns into like a gotten guys that way. So yeah. I think.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I think when he means low, I think means like red. And then Bill, if you here listening, man, you let me know if that's what you're speaking on because I haven't personally seen nobody do take offer in a red, but hey, I could be wrong. So that's just straight from him. You guys didn't see the Super Bowl? Will, did you see the Super Bowl?
I watched like last few minutes of the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I heard he was I heard he choked. Well, not choked. Well, let's call it, a spade is a spade. So I heard he choked. I heard that he was up 14-2 and then couldn't execute and allowed the Chiefs to come back.
Yeah, he choked. Yeah.
Is that true?
Like he was up. He was leading, then he lost in the last few minutes. That's choking.
Yeah. Yes, for sure. So that is the definition of choking. But speaking to Cletus and a couple other guys, I know that they were saying like his mindset when he got up that early changed from winning the game to just chucking it up deep balls and things like that.
Thought he had the dub already. I'm gonna say he probably did. He probably thought he had the win already.
Oh, he assumed he had to win, and then ended up biting him.
Yeah.
In the ass, and it's funny that in this league you can't really do nobody's really out of the game. Titans. If I can give you some advice in this league, man, if you're up and you got the gas to the to the floor, man, don't let up off that gas, man. Depending on some of these teams, man, we're not out the game, bro.
I can't remember what team it was, but it was 21-3 and at like halftime, and then all of a sudden the second half he made it a 3-point game, and I kept him from getting in the field goal distance right at the end of the game. So yeah, I definitely can't let up.
Yeah, don't ever let up. Don't ever let up in this league. Don't score 100, but for sure don't win the game, bro. Just win the game. Don't get too conservative, things like that, because that will bite you later on. Things like that. Is there are there any rules that you guys want to see probably changed or amended this year coming up in this new season?
Safeties, linebackers. Safeties, cornerbacks and safety. Yeah,
position changes. Yeah, I think we spoke on that, me and Ty, man. I agree. I think cornerbacks and safety should be interchangeable, and I think that safeties if once they hit like lower 85 in speed and something like that, or 84 speed, you're lower, they should be able to go to outside linebackers, things like that.
Yeah, like Cam Chancellor. Cam Chancellor will drop to like 81 speed, and he's unusable at 81 speed.
Yeah, he's unusable, and he's sucking up a lot of cap too. So now to play devil's advocate. Now, if you run a 3-4 defense, you can put Cam Chancellor at linebacker, but only in a 3-4 even, as they have the strong safety to linebacker package. So,
I mean, yeah.
You know, to counteract that, because we can't move him to linebacker, but if you hit 3-4 even and a strong safety to linebacker package, it takes your number one strong safety and puts him at that position in the outside linebacker. I think it's the right one, the left side of the screen. And then you put your number 2 up there. So just keep that in mind if we're not allowed to change him like that. But for sure, position changes I think will be dope, especially with the cornerbacks and safeties. What about you, Titans? Anything you want to see amended or possibly looked at or reviewed?
I just kind of like how it is now. It's pretty fair. There's not so much restriction that feels like you're handcuffed and only supposed to do one thing or the other. So I think it's pretty fair, honestly.
Yeah, I got another one too.
Yeah,
I got another one too.
Go ahead. What's that, Will?
I mean, it got something to do with like position changes, but like realistic changes, like in real life, like Tavon Austin. Like in college, he played running back, so maybe you could put him at running back, like change the position running back, or like Byron Jones, like he played cornerback, then they moved him to safety, like things like that, like realistic position changes that happen in real life.
Oh, I got you. So if a guy played a certain position in college, maybe
Or
he can move that position.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's dope. I'm you know, to me, it's either way. You know what? You know, I'm fine with it either way. I do agree with Titans. I think the league is pretty fair, especially compared to leagues I've already played in. I don't know how your league is that you help run. What are these rules? You know, a lot of the rules you guys have, but overall, I think it's pretty fair, pretty balanced. But yeah, just to add some diversity to different schemes and things like that. I do think that safeties and the cornerback should be able to be interchangeable. Only with thresholds though. I don't want those 96 free safety running around there, nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? Like a guy who's older, whose speed is around 90, 89, things like that. He can sure go to like.
In the league that I help run, we have kind of the same interchangeable rule where you don't have to it doesn't even matter if you want one outside linebacker to move over to the other side, that's fine and stuff like that. But any other position change like the ones you're talking about, we actually on our data league site we have a spot where people can post, I want to change this guy to this guy that's not within the rules, and then we actually talk about it and be like, yeah, it's okay if you can do that, or no, it's a little much.
Yeah, it makes sense. So you're saying almost like an approval board, like almost like a position change.
We do that for trades, and we do that for position changes. We'll discuss it, throw it up in the admin chat, and then.
Yeah. Now the trades here, the trades haven't been too crazy here. I haven't seen I know we used to have a trade and approval process and things like that, but as of lately, man, owners are real, and as the game changes and evolves, owners have become. It's hard to trade. It's real hard to trade. I know like the Packers and the Pats, they make moves. Some teams can just maneuver. Like he just always makes a deal. But overall, it's hard. It's hard to trade, and I think a lot of trades are fair. I haven't seen a trade where it was so lopsided and it caused the uproar in the league. But that approval process for the position change, I think, would kind of be dope. Say for example, Richard Sherman is a free agent this year on a free agency list. I think his speed is 80 something, 87 or something. Some crazy number that he's not even usable at corner.
I might use him. I might pick him up.
You pick him. You put him back there at cornerback against my 90-something speed receiver, and you watch what happened. I don't care what that zone look like.
Josh Norman got caught on yet, man.
Huh?
Josh Norman, and nobody ran past Josh Norman yet this year. So.
Well, that's true, but Josh Norman also plays 10 yards back. He ain't up on nobody. He ain't pressed up on nobody.
So I ain't stupid.
You're right. You in cover 4, cover 6. You know what I'm saying? Man, all the way back. You're not out here pressed up on nobody. So, but yeah, that makes sense. How do you feel? Rate the AFC this upcoming season, Titans for me. How you feel? How you feel the AFC is going to be this year?
Yeah, it was a little bit surprising. Like you said, Chiefs kind of took it the distance, and no one really noticed. But apparently, he's been around for a while, from what I've seen. Just no one really cared to notice him.
Yeah, it's hard to put the Chiefs first. I mean, I have to personally rank the Chiefs first because he's been to the Super Bowl 2 out of these 3 years, and he won it. So it's hard for him not to be number 1 in the AFC coming up this upcoming season.
So he's gone. You said 2 times with the Chiefs?
Yeah. He went year 1. He lost to the Seahawks. He went. I think he went to the playoffs last year. Because I played. Who did I play last year? I played the Dolphins. And then this year he went. He went to Super Bowl, but this year he won it. So
it's just crazy too, because I remember midway through the season on one of the shows you mentioned without Tyreek Hill, he's like nothing, and all of a sudden he's
right. Right. Yeah. Right. That's why I had to give him. I had to give him props even when he won it. Like, yo, just to get there, I had to give him props. And then when he won it, it was like, yo, I had to give him props. Like, he proved me wrong. You know what I'm saying? And I'm again, I'm here on the show. I humbly, he earned my respect. Respect to you, Adam, and you did your damn thing. Like, to give up your star player. And I mean, for real, like, to be honest, I mean, I still think it had an impact on his offense. Because everybody spoke about Eric Berry being the MVP of the Super Bowl. So his defense won him the game. I mean, he still put up the points to win, but losing Tyreek Hill for sure had an impact on him. But he ain't say much. Kept his head in the trenches, and he played. He put it out on the field, and he won, man. So hats off to him. He did what I couldn't do because I was so determined to go back to back. I threw myself out of the NFC Championship game. So, and then to see him beat the Browns, to me, I was like, oh yeah, I really want to face him. Like, that was my thing. I just wanted it so bad. I just was doing uncharacteristic things, which lost me the game ultimately. So, but I will admit, I'm happy he won it though. I'm all about the NFC. But good Lord, I didn't want Green Bay to win that thing.
Yeah, me too. I ain't want to hear all that. Yeah.
I'd be lying if I said I wanted him to win that thing. I was secretly going. I didn't even watch the Super Bowl. Actually, I left after my game. I had to go pick up the missus, man.
So this is the only time I want the NFC to lose.
Yeah, yo, people was hitting my phone like, yo, the Chiefs won. The Chiefs won. I was like, oh yeah. Because we would have never heard the end of that if Green Bay won.
2 weeks straight. Never heard. Wouldn't even be able to post in the chat without jumping in between some of his messages.
Yo, I'm telling you, we would never have heard that, man.
He take that championship too off his name too. I don't know where that came from.
Yeah. So Bill has hit me and tagged me in the chat talking about the rules here making bids. User must make a bid based on the player's desired contract and cannot make an offer lower than the desired contract, nor can they offer only 1-year deals unless the player is over 30.
Oh wait, so you telling me I gotta give Justin Houston $11 million? And he 33?
No. If he wants 3 years, let's say 3 years, $11 million. You can't offer him. He's saying you can't. It says you can't offer him anything lower than that, unless he's over the age of 30 or 30 or older.
Okay, so I'm good.
Yeah. As long as you the minimum, you have to offer him the minimum. If I'm correct. Once the free agent has been signed, owner must fulfill their obligation. It'll be a violation if the owner decides to cut that person to create a cap advantage. An owner cannot cut a player, but must wait 3 weeks before they re-sign the player dropped. Oh, okay, so that makes sense. So you can't sign it, you can't sign Houston, let's say Will, and then be like, man, he costs too much money, and then you clip him. You got to pretty much stay with that guy, at least, because it creates a cap advantage, which is fair. Yeah, but again, so I guess the Panthers who offered Austin Hooper that that low red bid. I guess that's a $1 bid. Who you guys who you think will be the biggest pickup on a free agent this year? I mean, it's a couple guys out here that can really make a difference. I'm
gonna say Taylor Decker.
What position is he?
Left tackle. I think he's left tackle.
Oh yeah, he's 26 years old. 90 strength, 84 block, 85 pass, 84 impact with a 92 awareness. Oh, he's a monster.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a monster. He's a must. I mean, if I had the money, I would be in that big war between the Cards and the Patriots. He's definitely.
Looks like the Cards spent some high dollar amounts on this guy.
Yeah, they're spending some money on him and Stanley as well. I think both of them two guys are great additions to the team. I see Big Ben is up there. He's like 90 years old.
If he still got that throw power, he might be worth it.
Nah, he only has 85 throw power.
Oh, yeah, never mind.
But I mean, for a team who doesn't have no quarterback, like say for example the Patriots, I might take that shot 1 year.
They don't got Jimmy G. They don't got Jimmy Garoppolo.
He might. No, he's trying to sign Goff.
Oh, so he don't got him.
Yeah, he's trying to sign Jared Goff. I don't think I would go that way if I was the Patriots. That's just my opinion.
If it was me, I'd get one out the draft. I would try to draft.
There's nobody out the draft.
Ain't nobody good.
Goff isn't too bad, to be honest with you. I mean, he's only 25, but he has slow development. That's just me, man. I don't know if I take that chance.
You can always build a quarterback.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to do that.
I agree.
I'm telling, like, me with the Patriots, I got the Patriots in another league. That team is completely different without Tom Brady.
Oh, we agree, and it'll be interesting to see if what type of impact it has on Strawn and that team. Because a lot of them throws he made were only Brady type throws.
Yeah, the team is completely different without Tom Brady. He makes some of the passes that other guys will not make.
Yeah, I agree.
So I'm assuming he retired this year.
Yeah,
he did. After 50 seasons, Brady is finally retired. And I don't know if
that might be a little biased too. I think that was kind of in the game script for any league for him to go very far. I know in the last two Maddens, Brady was only good for one season. He's a guaranteed retire. So I think just because he was the cover boy, they might have scripted it to where he wouldn't retire for a couple seasons.
Yeah, they said they did.
I agree.
They said they did.
Yeah, because I mean, even look at Big Ben. He's still around. Big Ben is still around.
Drew Brees still around.
Almost 4 seasons in, huh?
Like Drew Brees is still around, I think.
Yeah, Drew Brees is still around. Big Ben's still around. Phillip Rivers still around. These guys are like almost 40. I think Brees is 40 or something like that. He's still decent ratings. Things like that. I think this year, this offseason is tough, man. It's rough. Guys are holding players. They're not trying to cut nobody with any type of decent stats. All the
older guys are free agents. Just older and slower guys.
A bunch of old guys. Good Lord, it's a ton of old guys. And it depends on your team. If you really want to win right now, like how you have Houston, Will. If you can get him for that 1 year or 2 years and his ratings don't really drop, but he can still play. I mean, to me, I think that's a win. It all depends on the position and what are you going to use him for. Some old guys can still be valuable.
I think this might be biased or whatever, but Des Bryant's on the board there.
No.
He's 31, but from my experience with the Cowboys in my other league, he's the C route, he's the out route, he's the street master in my eyes. And he's capped at he's still at 90 speed and he can't drop any lower. So
yeah.
I think he'd be a pretty good pickup just for. He wants 3 years, but I bet he'd probably retire in like 1 or 2.
Yeah, I would give him. If I needed a receiver, and especially like you said, a guarantee catch guy, because that's what you're basically saying. He's going to catch the ball.
Yeah.
I was signing if I was that type of team who needed a receiver who didn't have no receiver or had a seat receivers who was a bunch of 80 speed guys. I would be sure take Dez Bryant. For at least the 1 year, but I would have to be in a position to win now. There's a couple of running backs on there, like Precise. I think the Broncos offer Precise. The Seattle running back are a deal. He's still 90 speed. I had Freeman on the block. I have one trade left. I'm trying to, finalize this one trade. But if somebody brings an offer to me, I'll let Freeman go. Julio Jones is still 90 speed, 99 everything else. He's 31. It's hard not to have him on the field. I got a decision to make with there. I'm not trading him to no NFC team. I'll for sure trade him to an AFC team. But I'm not doing no NFC trade.
Even deal, man. So even deal for Jones. But they don't. I mean for Deion.
You said what would I take for Deion Jones?
I mean me and you. Let's see. I give you Eric Kendricks for Deion.
Well, come on, man, stop it. You're insulting me.
What? I give you Eric Kendricks.
He's older. Eric Kendricks is older. And his ratings aren't as good.
Got quick development, man. Come on.
I'll give you a superstar development. That's come on, man. It's me. You're talking to me. You're not talking to something.
Defensive player of the year.
Huh?
Defensive player of the year. Y'all do that.
Fine. He's still not better than Deion Jones. Nah, that's fine.
All right, man. We're gonna get a deal eventually.
All right. Well then, so Titans, where do you see yourself? It's hard to rank yourself because who wins your division this year? Let's do that. I know you're in a rebuild.
I think Jags takes it again. It's all going to depend on if I can beat Jags 2 games. But I think Jags.
You Jacksonville. Who else? Colts and who else? Texans.
Texans.
I'll pick you as a sleeper in that division. Sure. It's hard to really pick you. I wanted to pick you for the AFC sleeper team overall, but you not having no cap and no real upgrade, you just trade all your picks. I mean, logically, I can't do it. Can't do it logically. But in that division, sure, you can take second. But
that's the thing. It's gonna be interesting because Jags only lost 4 games this season.
One was a sim.
Yeah, even if I did manage to beat him, I think he might still be able to win. Even if I sweep the division, I think he could probably still take it.
Yeah.
So you don't think you could be right?
You sweep that division, you make it the playoffs. If you win the division, you make the playoffs.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's 6 wins right there.
That's 6 wins, yeah. But depends on if I beat everyone else,
Yeah, but you only need 4. Coming from how the AFC works, you only need 4. You got to get 10 wins. You get in. So if you can win 4 non-divisional games, you could get in. It's possible. Even a 9-7 well, you did 9-7, and that didn't get you in. So yeah, you have to win 10, right?
Right.
You got to go 10-6.
Yeah, you got to go 10-6.
Even if I had gone 10-6, it still depended on because I think there was 2 other teams that went 10-6, and it would have came down to a 3-way tiebreaker. And I think you let
Madden figure it out. You just get the 10 wins and let Madden figure out all that other stuff.
Yeah.
But I think if you sweep the division, let's just say all 3 of y'all go 10-6. Whoever has the best divisional record, let's say you sweep the divisional record, you should then get that bump over the other 2 teams. Or you guys all have the same divisional record, and then it comes down to who has the better conference record. So. Again, you just get the 10-6 and let Madden figure out all that other stuff.
Fair enough.
Will, where do you rate the NFC coming up, man? Do you got Madden has? It's funny because Madden has Falcons, Packers, and I think Jets is 1, 2, and 3. What do you have as the NFC, Will?
I mean, what do you mean?
Who you think? Give me who you rate NFC this upcoming season. Who's in 1? Does Green Bay take 1 because they won the NFC Championship? Do I become 2? You become 3?
I'm gonna keep it the same as it was last year.
So me back in 1, you at 2?
Yeah. Me 1, you 2. Green Bay is number 3 now.
Seahawks 4.
Boom. Yeah, Boom 4. And that's 5 and 6. I don't know who else gonna be in the 5 and 6 spot. It could be Rams. It could be 49ers. It could be It could be a lot of people in that 5 and 6 slot. So
yeah, it'd be decent to see how your brother does, man, as the 49ers. If he can get some right pieces, I think that he could definitely take the second slot in that division. I don't see Boone losing the first unless your brother can really unless your brother beats him twice. If your brother can beat him twice, then sure.
he say he can.
Beat the Seahawks.
He say he can.
He jump ball the Seahawks to death that one time they played. I mean, guys was just mossing his guys, man. It looked like Culpepper the Moss back there. You know, in that little era run, he was just throwing up everything, and they were catching it all over top of Seattle secondary. So it'd be interesting to see it. I'll pick. Let's say I'll pick Seattle as the division winner of that division. I'm gonna take you as the strong first in that NFC East. I'm gonna go with maybe the Eagles a second. Put the pressure on Ty to show up. He's not really here to defend himself, but
yeah,
I'm probably going with that. NFC South is me. NFC North. Vikings is talking that talk like they're gonna win it in the NFC North.
I mean, if he do, I wouldn't be surprised.
You know, Vikings got user skills. If he can figure out his user skills in this formula, man, I gotta go Packers, man. It's hard not to go against Packers because he's won it. He's done it.
But what if Vikings just being there puts pressure on the Packers and he just loses it? You know.
Yeah, I mean, the Vikings being there definitely puts the pressure on it because he's not no bum. But we'll see. I got I'll take AFC East. I'll take Cletus. Your division Titans. I'm gonna take, like you said, Jacksonville. AFC North. I'm going with the Browns. Even though he won the Super Bowl, I think the Raiders will still probably take the division in the AFC. What's that, West?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Chiefs did his thing, but Raiders only lost like one game, 2 games to the conference. Yeah. Titans, what you got? You can agree with that?
Yeah.
You can agree with those picks? Picks?
From what I've seen.
Yeah. Big Ben is saying Steelers is saying that Big Ben has 89 throw power. Listen. He has 89 throw power. I mean, you can only sign Big Ben for 1 year. Anything past that 1 year, you shot yourself in the foot. You gotta give him this 1 year. Again, if I had a team who didn't have a quarterback, or if Andrew Luck was hurt, I would even sign Big Ben for this 1 year. But other than that, I can't see it. I can't see it. I think who else? We got some other big name old guys. Talib is on the free agency.
Yeah, I did.
So like I'm saying, he's 34. He has 88 speed, 92 man, 88 zone. To me, that's a free safety.
Yeah.
To me, I would love to put Talib at free safety, hands down.
Him and Richard Sherman.
He's free safety. Him and Richard Sherman, same thing. Richard Sherman, 88 speed, 88 zone, 86. He's a safety. He's definitely put him at the safety. Who's it? Jimmy Smith. Same conversation. Yeah, same conversation. Yeah, you put him
jumping.
Yeah, because like Richard Sherman, he's only 195. He's not going to tackle everybody. He's not going to tackle everybody. He's tackling his 80, but he can still get trucked. And I learned that when I played Jacksonville because Ricardo Allen is only 185, and Fournette was just running right through him, right through him. So I think guys like that, Vernon Davis is up here, 89 speed. Man, let's put them guys as safeties, man. Let us allow them to put these old guys as safeties.
DJ Swanger, he has 81 speed.
Yes, 81 speed.
You can't do nothing with that.
No way he's free safety at 81 speed. Who's off of him? The Ravens. You are rolling. You are setting yourself up to fail picking him at that position.
He can't jump on nothing. Because he's so slow, he can't jump on balls or nothing.
Unless he has some type of 90-something acceleration.
No.
and he doesn't, you are setting yourself up to fail when that offer in on him. I would, I mean,
I'd rather get Devin McCourty. I'd rather get McCourty.
Yeah, McCourty's too old. I couldn't do it.
He ain't 81, but still.
I would sign off that list. I would sign Marvin Evans. He has 90 speed, 79 zone, 80 pursuit.
He don't got no hit power, and he can't tackle.
I mean, most free safeties don't. All he has to do is be able to cover. You know, that's just my personal pick. You know, I'm not signing none of them old guys up there. That's all I'm saying. I know 81.
If I was him, I would get TJ Green. But
anybody. For sure, TJ Green. He's good. But you know,
he can't cover.
So anybody but that guy. Ravens, if you're listening, please do not offer him that. Don't offer that guy no money unless we are allowed to make position changes. You put him at linebacker. Titans, man. Who you got your eye on, Titans? Are you releasing that secret now? Or you're gonna wait?
I honestly don't think I'm gonna sign anybody.
Yeah.
If I do, I think if I go for anyone, and I was looking at, let me see. I was looking at Von Bell, or Marwin Evans. I'm needing a safety.
Yeah. I mean, me.
I would go Killebrew, Miles Killebrew. That's what I would go.
Yeah, for me, I gotta go. I need a punter.
He's a strong safety.
I gotta get a punter. Maybe a fullback.
Fullback.
I mean, I'm not gonna draft one. Good lord. I mean, I'm just trying to fill the gaps in my team. I don't really need any of them.
You'll do better draft. It's cheaper to draft one, probably.
Listen, man, I just need to fill my roster slot. I'm gonna just get the cheapest guy on the fullback list and just let him just do his thing. I really don't even run a fullback, so I barely use him. I just needed to fill that slot. That's all. And a punter. I mean, it's so many older guys on here. It makes it a little tough. And then the younger guys aren't too bad. It's just, do you want to build them up?
Because I mean, 26 to cut off age, really, to progression.
Really?
Yeah, 26. Some people say 25, but I say like 26. That's like Perriman. This Perriman last year, because he's 26 years old. This is last year for me to actually try to get him to like a 90. So,
yeah.
26 and older, everything become higher.
Yeah. Michael Bennett just got a new position change in Seahawks, so it'll be interesting to see where he moved to. Tennessee, Chase, is there let's look at your team here, buddy. How's Mariota been for you? How has he been? I mean, there's a lot of hype around him. A lot of guys love him in Mutt. How's he in the CFN?
I think I was probably top 5 in throwing interceptions, but I think that was more user-based than it was skill-wise. He can make the throws. He made a lot of good throws for me, but just user-wise, I always throw straight into somebody when I get under pressure because I'm.
Okay. Now, what about DeMarco Murray? When do you cut ties with him? I mean, he's 32.
I was just gonna let him retire with me. If he starts fumbling too much, or if he's just not cutting it, I might sub him out and roll with Henry. But for now, as long as he's still on as hot as he's been doing for me, I'm gonna try and roll with him until he retires. Or if I have to re-sign him at some point before he retires, I'll probably let him go.
Okay. I mean, looking at your team, I don't see. I mean, I think you can still make a solid run with this team. Looking at them, looking at the team, I think you can still make a solid run. You can still win some games, and I don't think you're really out of it. I think your defense is stronger than your offense. Do you run a 4-3 or do you run a 3-4?
I run 4-3.
Okay.
Wait, what that team? Wait, you run a 4-3 with that team?
Yeah.
I never seen nobody do that before.
Yeah, he has to. He has to because his linebackers aren't that great. He has. I mean, they're slower guys except for Eli Harold. They're all slower guys, but they can tackle and hit and all that. But his strength is in his defensive line. To be honest with you, a lot of these guys have high block shit and things like that. So if he can pressure the quarterback and force some guys to make some bad decisions, he should be able to win it. I think 4-3 is solid for him. Can't argue that. Who you guys have for sleeper teams coming up? Or who will you be interested to see or watch, this upcoming season?
I want to see the Eagles. I want to see if he shows up after all that stuff he was talking about when he first joined. I was with you. I watched that show, and you're like, he should have just tanked the rest of the 4 games or whatever and not played and showed up and make it a psychological battle. But he didn't do that. He started losing. So it'll be interesting to see if he shows up with a fresh new season.
I agree. He didn't show his hand. He showed his hand a little early.
Yeah.
I wish he would have took my advice, but he didn't. Now he's trying to trade Wentz. I know he was complaining about Taylor. I think he should really stay with Wentz. But yeah, let's see. It'll be interesting to see how he does. I'm trying to think who in the NFC will be a sleeper team. I think 49ers to me this year. I'm interested to see how 49ers play it out. And because I know he has some skill. His game kind of mirrors yours, Wop. And yeah, I agree with you too, Chase. I think the Eagles and the 49ers for me will be the teams I want to see how they make it out in the NFC. And because the Bucs bounce back after a great season, first season 1, he went 10-6, and this year he was a bust. Will he bounce back? Will the Saints try to be number 2 in the division? Again, did he have a Cinderella year, or did he really earn that spot? In the AFC, what do you think, Will? What do you think about the NFC before we jump to the AFC?
I got the Eagles too.
Yeah, I think because the way he came in, I'm going 16-0, and he posted up some clips. I think he, put a target on his back for doing that.
Yeah, like he didn't beat me. I don't know why he decided to play me first out of everybody, but yeah, I don't know why he did that. He should just kept his cards to his hand.
Yeah. Who do you think? What do you think about the AFC? What teams are you worried about? What teams do you find? Chase, what teams do you think will be hard for you to? Let's say because the Raiders, the Jets, Jacksonville, Raiders, Jets, Jacksonville, and the Browns. Let's say they're the top 4 division winners. Those are the 4 slots locked. Chiefs is going to go back to the playoffs. We can already assume that. He's proven that. So that's 5 guaranteed slots right there. What team do you more concerned about taking that 6th spot from you? The Chargers, the Colts?
I think it'll be the Chargers. I gave him all those picks. If he uses them correctly, he'll have a lot of good studs that he can throw in there and fill up his roster. I think he might finally get up in there and make a huge push this next season.
Okay. What'd you say, Will?
What about the Ravens? That's what I got.
That's what I was going to say. That's what I was going to say. The Ravens.
Because he barely missed the playoffs.
Yeah, I was going to say the Ravens too. That's just what I was going to say. The Ravens barely missed the playoffs. I think the Ravens, Chargers are definitely 2 teams. Chase, I think you should be worried about. Ravens barely missed the playoffs. If he can just beat the Browns, he wins the division. I think he can beat the Steelers. I know Bill is still running that organized chaos type of offense. I think he has to change from that this year and decide if he's gonna. I mean, he doesn't have Big Ben. He has the young guys. Is he still gonna, is he gonna get away from that Bill Cowher style of play and come on to this Mike Tomlinson era? If he doesn't, he's gonna not make the playoffs. I think the Ravens will be interesting to see. Titans, I know you. Again, for me, it's hard to count you this year because I know you don't have no cap. You traded all your picks. You are now still running the same team. will they be able to handle the newer, younger guys coming in here? But Ravens and the Chargers for sure. Chargers, if you're watching, man, you got, I think you gave him, what, 4 picks? Chase, you gave him like 4 draft picks? 5 draft picks?
No, I just gave him just 1 and 2.
Oh, well, still, 2 extra picks, 19th and 20th. And then, you know, the second round pick right back to back. Yeah. If you don't use them for well, this is it'll be a disappointing season over there in LA.
We took 2. If he's attending the draft, he's gonna have to, just advice, you're gonna be scouring that list. Get the 4 guys you want right now, because once you hit that 19th pick and you have to pick, and then all of a sudden, wait a minute, I got to pick again, like, then you're struggling to try and figure out who you want to go with at that point.
I agree. I think that you them 4 picks, especially on first 2, you take the 2 guys you really want right now. Whether they were projected to be in, you know, picked round 5 or round 6 or round 3. If that's the guy you want, you get that guy, because there's no guarantee in this league this guy's going to be there by the next time that round comes around. You know, I've drafted a guy that was projected to be undrafted in my first round pick. Like, I don't care. I want him. I'm getting him now because I know come second round he's not going to be there, or later rounds he's not going to be there. So yeah, I think those would definitely be some interesting teams to see who pans them out. Do you think that the Bills turn it around, or do they continue to stink?
Oh no, they're gonna stink. Yeah, they're gonna stink.
Chase, what you think? Bills turn around, or they continue to stink?
Who's the owner?
Joe Deasy. He's posting the natural herb pictures and the fishing pictures all the time.
And the lion picture. I don't know what that's about.
The lion picture.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't think I haven't played him. I haven't seen him play, so I don't know if I can really say that. But he went 3-13. It looks like.
Yeah.
Wait. Who did he beat? I want to know who did he beat.
I don't know. I don't know. I think he took one sim win, and I would have just kept that win and just went 1-16. And got the number 1 pick and built my team from there. You know, or took my number 1 pick and traded for 2 different stars, or something like that. I took 2 stars off of somebody's team and, you know, gave my number 1 pick. Or I trade all my picks. I got all good players, and then came out like a cannon this season. That would have been my topic.
Don't see it happening though. He hasn't shown me anything to say that he's gonna improve. You know?
Yeah. He won. He beat week 6. He beat the Eagles. I don't know if they were CPU at that time, but it wasn't a force. He won 34-19. He beat Dolphins in week 13, 41-34. And beat Dolphins again, 21-13.
Wait.
There you go.
Wait. If he beat the Dolphins might be in bad shape.
If he beat the Dolphins in bad shape.
I don't know when his suspension was.
Oh yeah, that might be true. Yeah. That might have been it might have been suspension week.
I think one of those might have been during the suspension, and he beat the computer.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but even still,
none of them were forces, so he played them.
Okay. Yeah, well, you know, I think he should turn it around. Who was the team? You see the lowest rated team on the NFC. Oh, the Eagles. Well, the Eagles don't count. The Cardinals. Do you think? I mean, Champ signing 2. Looks like 2 of the best left tackles on free agency currently. He has great defensive players still. I think he just lost. J.J. Nelson's back on the free agency list. Do you think Champ turns it around, or the Cardinals turn it around, or he continues on the path that he's going?
I think Champ just need to play defense. That's all he got to do. If Champ learn how to play defense, he'll be good, because he can put up points. To just defense.
Yeah, I agree. I think he can. I don't know if he's taking it serious, if he's just jumping in these games. But if he decides to really play, I think he can definitely make a run. I mean, he has a team to make the run. I don't know. I don't know how serious he's taking it. I want to see how Jacksonville does. Now that I took away their star player on defense, I need to see how Ramsey, but they still have Earl Thomas. Chase, it's up to you, man. Can you beat him twice this season? If you beat him twice this season,
the first game came in. It was really tight. I almost pulled away with that one. I think I threw a pick within the last couple minutes and then couldn't stop him before time ran out. It was close, and then I was ready to play him in that second game, but couldn't nail down a time, so that's why we had to sim it.
Okay.
I think if I concentrate, practice a little bit before a game, I think I might be able to maybe split. I'm gonna call a split. I won't say I'll win outright, but I think we'll split.
So if you can you give me 9-7 this season?
I think so. I didn't really lose anybody that I cared for in free agency this year, so I'm playing with the same exact team. I think I can probably at least do 9-7 again.
I mean, you just gotta win one more game out of 97.
Right.
Yeah, just one more game. So if you go 10-6, you both can't go 10-6.
I mean, I think you can go 10-6. I think you can go up.
You think he can win? See the schedule. Depends on the strength of schedule and everything like that.
He can win the division over Jacksonville?
I'm gonna try. I don't know about that, but he at least could come in second and still make the playoffs if he can do that. You never know who gonna fall. Like maybe the Patriots fall, or maybe like Chargers fall. Somebody might fall. You never know.
It's gonna be tough for the Patriots. Let's see who's the Patriots quarterback. Let's just see who their quarterback is because it's gonna be really tough. Now if Strong does his thing without Brady, then he's solid. He solidified his spot.
Life after Brady is something different, man. Jacoby Brissett. I mean, he got a guy who got 88 throw power, but
maybe. I mean, out of that other guy, Hugh Taratu or whatever his name is.
Yeah, like he got 88 throw power, but
he's superstar development, so.
Oh yeah. He gets the nod. He gets the nod.
All he has to do is crank that awareness up, and he's probably
a star. He's a star. Yeah, you get that awareness up, he's a star.
Yeah,
he's a star for sure.
We'll see if he can still go to deep ball though.
And he can run. He got 87 speed.
Yeah. Options. That's all you.
He got clutch. He got Ty Sparrow. He got he got everything. He's good. Strong. That's you start number 5. Hugh Taratu. You get that play action up to 80. You get that awareness up to 80. I might even use his legs, to be honest with you.
I'd rather run the throw with him. Feel me? I just don't like 88 throw power, man. I know you
don't like 88 throw power, but that's still enough. It's still enough to make the throws, though. Unless he's not throwing up lob passes like you are. So 88 should be good enough. Will, let's answer this question. Will, can you win this season without the deep ball? Is the deep ball still your go-to tactic coming up this season?
Yeah.
So you are not advanced. You are not changing it.
I'm not gonna skip a beat.
Okay. So there are more deep balls this season.
I mean, I gotta throw more because Perriman is 26. So this is last year.
Yeah. So the deep balls, okay. So the deep balls are coming. So for everybody watching, keys to victory to the Redskins. Stop the deep.
Are you going to train a backup plan for whenever people will finally start stopping that?
Great question.
Let me see. I'm not gonna have to change my plan until the playoffs. So the regular season.
Okay, so he's gonna fall to the playoffs.
Yeah.
We change it.
Just wait till the playoffs.
Okay. I know that I'm bringing out my new custom book this season, man. I'm gonna see what that's gonna do. Like, I really don't run customs, but do something different this season. just so so I don't get too stagnated running the same things. But it will, my old scheme will still be in there too. But I'm definitely gonna bring out some new things, some new plays. So be on the lookout for that. To all my opponents. Are you changing up anything this season, Titans?
Probably when season starts, I'll probably take my playbook that I use, and I might add a couple plays in there that I was looking at. But other than that, I don't think so.
Okay.
I just even knew defense. My defensive play calling has been off this season. So
yeah. Oh, I know they wanted me to mention any trades that have been made or being made during this off season. Please post that on the Daddy League site under like a blog post, so everybody keeps a record of it, and everybody only gets 3 trades. Pats and the Packers are not allowed to trade this this season, so don't try to make those deals with them. The guys are on a trade suspension. So whatever trades have been made, definitely post them. I posted my 2 last night. Cletus threw up the images for him. Shout out to Cletus for throwing up the images. I appreciate that. Images are cool. I know some guys. I know it's a lot of teams. I know the Eagles are looking to make a lot of deals. So Wentz is on the block. I seen that the Redskins were putting up their running back, Walker, right? That's his name, Will?
Yeah, I'm trying to get rid of him.
I mean, he was a monster for you.
I mean, that's just how I am with running backs. I don't.
Yeah, I know you don't really keep running backs, but he was for sure a monster. He was running. He looked like Earl Campbell, Walter Payton, Gale Sayers style of, Christian Okoye. He was like putting his head down, running over people.
If anybody want him,
running back.
If anybody want him, he a third. You have him for a third.
That's a steal. That is a steal.
You have him for a third.
That running back for a third is a steal, in my opinion. I mean, he was phenomenal.
How old is he?
24.
24.
24.
But he already has like 90. He has like 90 ball carry, 90 carry. I mean, ball carry vision 90 plus carry 90. What is this trucking? Is this trucking 90?
He got 98. I mean 89. He got 89 trucking.
89 truck. I mean, he was running.
And he got 90 speed.
Great power back. He broke over 1,000 yards. So, I think that's a good player. I know Cletus has a bunch of players on the block. A lot of them guys are superstar development or quick development. Just know that that's a bait. See, this is bait. You throwing that line out there, that bait. He gonna bite. Somebody gonna bite on them players. There's a lot of good young players up there.
People still traded with Cletus. I still can't believe it.
Cletus always gets a trade. I guarantee you. He might. I ain't even look at his team, how many picks he got right now, but I know for a fact before this draft, he's gonna have at least two number 1 draft picks. At least.
Yeah. I don't know how he do it. I don't know how he do it, but he do it. So,
I'm looking right now. Let's see.
He's got 3 ones.
He got 3 already.
2 2s.
He has 3 number 1 picks already.
They're
not even that Saturday.
They later early.
That can go up to 5. He has a 7th pick, the 14th pick, and a 28th pick.
I'm trying. Why do people still trade with him? I ain't figured this out yet.
I don't know.
Them deals. They can't be that good.
Knowing Cletus' mindset, he's already working on next year's number 1s.
Yeah. No, I'm not.
He's done. He's good for this. His first 5 picks is so important. He's gonna then, his system is great, man. I wanted to get him on the show to talk about this system and how his mindset for this process of the offseason. How does a person get 3 draft picks? 3 number 1s, 2 of them being, one of them being the top 10, the other one being, top 15. And then also getting a second, how does one do that? How does one do that? I don't know. I mean, it took me forever.
Can't even get anyone to bite on Logan Ryan.
Right.
88 overall corner.
I don't even think. I think it's a superstar development trait that make everything look good. Honestly,
I agree. It's hard. It's hard not to consider that. It's hard not to consider that.
When you see go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say same thing. What you was gonna say. When you see superstar development, you think all the XP that guy can get. And then, right? Is that what you're gonna say?
Yeah, like superstar development just made a guy could be a 74 overall, but superstar development make him look like a 90 when you look at him.
Yeah, yeah. But he also has to play on the field too, though. He has to play on the field too. Like you can't have a guy superstar and then you're like, oh, I'm gonna build him. No, he has to actually be on the field to get the maximum XP for that.
I might start doing that.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. I mean, but like I said, I spoke on a previous show. That guy on Cletus's team has also been sitting on the bench for them 2 years. You know, he's been sitting on the bench for them 2 years, just eating up XP, eating it. You know, I'm just sitting. And then, year one, after that season, he moves him to quick. Then year two, then he puts him a superstar. Then he puts him on the field as superstar. He gets more XP. And then he's like, all right, you're done. It's the third year, you're out of here. Trading him. You know what I'm saying? He goes somewhere else and makes a difference. But I guess that's how he gets the #1 picks. Shout outs to him, man. I mean, he's been doing that since I've known him. Like, since I've been around. He's been always multiple picks. Champ used to be the same way. He's got his 5, 6, 7 picks. You know, in the first 2 rounds. That's bananas.
He got me my first year ever playing in a franchise, in a league, online league. He got me. I never forget about that. I traded him Big B's. I never forget that, man.
Oh, man.
Yeah, for me, that's how I got my trades off. I traded with 2 new owners. Like, I can't trade with the dinosaurs of this league, man. I'm a dinosaur in this league. You know, these guys are stubborn, man. You guys are stubborn. I mean, I like it. I respect it. These guys are stubborn, man. I tried to trade the Raiders, man, and try to get this he has a right outside linebacker, Thomas Dixon. He's like, give me your 2 first for him. I picked him at 21. I'm like, whoa, my pick is 30th. How about you take my #1 pick 30th for you, that guy that you picked at number 21 last year? He's like, nah, I need both your #1s. Nah, I can't do that. I can't do it. I can't do it. He's like, well, you're not. He's like, you're so successful, your pick don't matter. But that 30th pick, though, man, you could have had, because you're already gonna get the 20, maybe 27th, but you also get that second player that you want in the second round in my 30th. You know, it's not really the value of where I'm picking at. It's just multiple picks mean something. You know, this Madden, it can mean something because, like Chase said earlier, you got to get the guys you want right now because they're not going to be around that next round. That draft board is so crucial to this Madden, man. It's so crucial. And I know that Joe wanted me to speak on it. I don't know if other guys know how to do that, but when you go in the scouting screen, you can select go over top of a player that you want by potentially draft and press triangle, and it puts a star on his name. And then that star translates to put him on the draft board. And then, you know, you hold L2, you pick draft board, you see all the guys on that list that you could potentially want to draft. And then you select that same player and then move it up or down to put them in order. So when it's your turn to pick, if you're not able to draft, the computer will draft off your draft board in whatever order, priority. Now, also keep in mind, if you have 5 receivers in that draft, on that draft board, and then the next guy is a linebacker, number 6, the computer will draft the best receiver that you have on priority of the draft board, but then they will not come back that next round and draft that other receiver. They'll skip it, and then they'll go down to the next position. So let's just say round 1 you wanted a receiver. There's 5 of them. So you're like, yo, if any 5 of these receivers are available, take one. So they take the one that's at the top. And then round 2, you might say, hey, I want the second receiver. The computer's not going to do that. They're going to actually go down. It's like, okay, he has 4 more receivers left. We already picked one. What is next on the draft board? Well, the linebacker's next. So the computer will take the linebacker. And then they'll continue that process all the way down. So keep that in mind when you're setting up your draft board. And I know that too because I've actually I did a fake offline season and tested that theory. And that's definitely how the computer works. So definitely set up your draft boards accordingly. If you want multiple players in the same position, I would suggest do like a receiver, a linebacker, then a receiver again, then whatever, then that, all the way down, trickles down. I've never gotten a draft board to do it, 2 receivers back-to-back, things like that. So
I wonder if all you want is a receiver and your whole draft board's receivers, I wonder if they go off of that still then.
I mean, I wouldn't do it, but I think the computer would do it.
I wouldn't do it either. I don't know, Chase. If you say, for example, you saying I got 7 picks and all my 7 picks are 7 receivers on the draft board. Maybe. I think it might. It might. I mean, if you got some time, I would just start an offline local draft and sim it all the way up to the draft and try it, and then see if that works. But do they skip the draft board completely? Like, yo, we're not taking 7 receivers. We're going to take one of these guys, maybe 2, and then randomly draft 5 other positions.
Yeah, it's not like they got it set up to where it's not supposed to.
Yeah, because in theory, I know EA was big on that about not supposed. Yeah, it's not supposed to just draft 7 guys straight off your draft board if they're the same position.
But you never know.
Yeah, you never know, man. Try. It's been patches. There's always some type of exploit. It's bad, so I wouldn't be shocked if you could do something like that. Anything else? I know Chase, you had a question about cap space and funds available.
Right.
Okay. Well, look who it is. We got official co-host up in here, Ty. What's going on, good brother? You had a question about cap space and funds available. Right. Ty's a little nice. We got official co-host up in here, Ty. What's going on, good brother?
Not much, man. I only jumped in here for one reason.
Here we go.
You my third, man. What's up with Walker? That's why I jumped in here. I don't see you responding to that in the chat. I need to get that rectified.
Oh no, you got the MVP on your team.
My third for Walker.
Don't you got the MVP on your team?
Get traded with him.
Hey,
I'm sorry, brother. I didn't hear you. I was saying.
You said you got the MVP already on your team?
What happened?
You already got the MVP on your team. Why you need another running back?
Hey, the man has somebody up for trade. I'm asking about the guy for trade.
I'm gonna need a second. I'm second from you. I'm gonna need a second.
A second? My third is like a second. I didn't have the best season in case you ain't noticed.
Nah, you had a wonderful season according to the draft.
I mean, according to the draft.
Ain't you let's see, you like what, 16?
I ain't got my first pick. I ain't got my first pick. I need that second.
We can't be doing no deals. I'm gonna need a second from you, and you division opponent too. I'm gonna need a second.
Why, man? I'm not no threat to you, man. I wasn't put up on any NFC list, man. I'm hearing the 49ers and everybody. I'm not a threat. I ain't no problem. You don't need to worry about that. Just go ahead.
That's the motivate. You already know that's the motivate, man. You already know that's the motivate. Don't even.
Hey, listen. On these shows going forward, there will be no commentary for me about what I'm gonna do this season. I'm gonna let all y'all do the talking. I'm gonna let all of y'all drip y'all swag juice. I'm gonna let y'all do what y'all do. At the end of the game, at the end of the day, it's all about the bottom line. That's what I'm gonna be about this season. I ain't got nothing to say on my performance, how I'm gonna do, what to expect. Look out for me, none of that. I'm gonna play my games. But I'm just saying, since I'm not a threat, WAP shouldn't have no problem giving me the Walker for that third. I'll tell you what, WAP. Here you go, WAP. My third this season and my third next season.
I don't want to play against that man 2 years and 2 times a year. I don't want to do that myself.
Hey, I'm just so.
I already said it. I thought that was a hell of a steal. I mean, I got 4 good running backs, but if I didn't, man, I would, third for him. Yeah, I think anybody should jump on that deal.
I think he might be going to the 49ers.
Hey, my one next season.
I gotta see how you play this season coming up. I got to see.
I'm not gonna be that you need to worry about this. It'll be a hot one for you. I'm probably gonna go about 5-11, brother.
I don't know, man. We'll see. I hit you up at week 8. See what happens.
I'm calling my shot right now, 5-11, man. So it'll be a nice pick for you. It'll be in the top 8.
You ain't go 5-11 this season. You almost make
11, brother. Book me, put me down, 5-11.
So you said you're gonna be worse.
I'm gonna be worse.
Stop it. Yeah, the competitive nature won't let you go 5-11.
I done lost my touch, man. The game that passed me by, man. I'm a whole head, man.
Stop. Try to work. Try to do psychology, man. I do psychology.
Stop it, Chase. You need a running back. You got DeMarco Murray. So old, man. I'm telling you.
I don't have any picks left.
Oh, that's right. You don't have no picks.
Not for this draft, anyways.
Yeah.
Put it this way. He gonna go for a high third or a second, like an early third or a second round pick. That's what Perry going for.
Yeah. So. Ty, since I got you on here real quick, man, rate the AFC this upcoming season, and then who you want interested to see in the AFC, and then do the same for the NFC real quick.
Well, first, it's custom that everybody comes on the show. They get a likeness attached to him. And as I was watching this show, so my man Chase looked like a young Action Bronson. So I just had to put that out there real quick. Wow, AFC starts with the champ.
Got to.
You know what? Chiefs won. Cletus kind of reminds me of us. He doesn't take kindly to losing. He hasn't made his customary run yet. I know he thought he had everything lined up this season. AFC is going to be tough. I think it's tougher to make the playoffs in the AFC, but I think the NFC is strong, top heavy. So the folks that typically make it from the NFC, they're good and they're strong and they're powerful. But I think it's a harder path in the AFC. There's a lot of good teams there.
Real quick, Ty, real quick. Can we address that? Because Boone said something to me about that as well. He said exactly the same thing you said, but he said that the Browns went to the AFC Championship, and he was the first-time owner. He said we had the first-time owners in the NFC, and they didn't make the playoffs. So, what are your thoughts on that?
The Browns was a good player. I mean, low-key, and I made sure I put it in the chat, a lot of the things I said on these owners' boxes, they came to fruition. Because I'm like you, I watch a lot of these games. And make no mistake about it, just because he didn't get the pub, I called out the Chiefs on the second week of the owner's box. When it was being talked about, the Chiefs done lost a step, I said,
Yeah.
I called out Paya making the run he made. And you know what? I put Paya at number one in the NFC. I know there's a lot of people, because Paya doesn't know how to win humbly, and he draws a lot of negative attention himself. A lot of people don't want to see
that showed in the Super Bowl, though. That's what showed in the Super Bowl, right?
First of all, I disagree with you and WAP 100%. That man didn't choke. He's in the Super Bowl. We thought the Chiefs was a joke. He got there by accident. The Chiefs.
No, not choke, not that. But they said, I didn't see the game, but they said his play style changed as far as he went from whatever he was doing to win to chucking up the ball. So
okay, I can see that. But we all know there are some times when you're playing a game, you get a feel for a game. And you know when you were locked up. Look at some of the comments he made. The game prior to that against you, Gates, he struggled with Rodgers. Chiefs plays one of the best defensive schemes in this league and continuously always has. So I feel that maybe in the course of the game, he felt like he had to do that because he couldn't get his offense off against him. Now, his strategy might not have been the best, but I don't equate that to he choked. He wasn't up by a large margin on one of the best players in the league who was on a hot run. He felt he needed to change his tactic because he wasn't going his way, which is different than he choked, in my opinion.
14-2, do you lose that game?
I don't know. Like, all of us can sit here on Monday morning quarterback and say, if that was us, we wouldn't have lost. You have a feel for the game when you're in the game, and he plays solid all year. I mean, look, could he have tightened up a little bit? Yes. Choke? I don't know. It wasn't like he gave up a 28-3 lead on Patriots in Atlanta.
No. We weren't talking that. I was speaking more, the thing we talk about all the time, the execution. That's what I'm saying. His execution.
He should have gotten away from his game plan. Correct. He should have gotten away from his game plan. But sometimes in a game, we talk about this all the time. There are two mentalities. Do you stick with what got you to the dance, or do you slip somebody a Mickey, so to speak? And that's throw something at them they haven't seen. He probably felt the Chiefs couldn't defend his deep ball. He felt that if he got that critical score to go up, he might have been in the driver's seat. You can question his strategy, rightfully and fairly so, but I don't equate that to he choked. And he's the NFC Conference champion. He's beaten WAP. He's beaten you. He's proven he can hang with anybody. That man has to be looked at as number one in the NFC until somebody else beats it. We can't keep going off reputation and saying, hey, well, I still think this person's 1-2, and the man's the NFC Conference champion.
Yeah, that's fair. Nothing wrong with that.
But he's still going to be number 3 in my eyes.
Well, and you know what, and that's fair to say because you're right. All of this is subjective to opinion. I'm just saying from a factual standpoint, he represented our conference as the best we had to offer, and during the season, he beat the best we have. So I don't see no way anybody can say he's less than one.
Sure.
I mean, don't get me wrong though. Joe Deasy can come on the show and say he's the best owner in the league. He can say that. I don't know how much merit is to it, but he can say that. We can all say what he wants to say.
He represented NFC yet. I mean, the same thing. That's why I said same thing. You can't say AFC and not say Chiefs is number one.
Right. So going back to your original question for me, I put the Chiefs at 1. I really can't break it down because after Chiefs, Cletus is going to have a say. Raiders is going to have a say. Browns is going to have a say. I like what you and Wop said about Ravens being a sleeper, and also like the Chargers possibly being a sleeper. The Titans were right there on the verge, 9-7. He was right there. So I'm not going to give a pecking order. It's too early yet because all of those teams I mentioned are going to have to say, but I clearly have to say you got to start with the Chiefs. In the NFC side, I got to start with Paya. I think you're going to be there too, Gates. I think Wop's going to be there at 3.
Yes.
I do like what I see with Niners. I think Niners is gonna have a say in things. I don't know what's going on with the Bucs. I'd really like to get that guy on the show. I don't see another 3-13 season in that guy. He was a playoff team. Saints is gonna have a say. I'm curious about the Eagles as well. I think it's just gonna be another good season.
Wait, I got a question.
I got a question. Do you think Paya wins NFC North hands down easily this year? Or do you think the Lions and the Bears and the Vikings try to make it tough for
them? I will say this. I do want to include Vikings and Lions in the NFC conversation. I did forget about Creasy. I know Creasy's talking this to kind of fire everybody up, and I also do know he believes in himself, and he does feel is a good handle on that team. I still think Pie's the team to beat. I think Lions and I think Vikings will give him all he can handle. I think it's going to be close. Packers is not going to run away with that division, but I don't know. I have to go with the here and now. And I just really think that Pie has played great football this Madden. And I get that Trav has a rep in the league, and I know that Trav can be a good player. I know he has good user. But I don't know that I've seen enough for me to say he's going to overtake Paya based off of what? Where do you see Paya slipping? He's still returning a great offense. He still has better defense than anybody gives him credit for. He showed it in the game against you, Gates. I've often said all year long on the show, Green Bay's defense is underrated. That guy has user. He has good awareness. He plays like you and Wop on defense. It's not easy to put up a lot of points on him. You don't see games where he gives up a lot of points. So I'm not really seeing where anybody thinks he's going to slip to all of a sudden give the division to Vikings and give it to the Lions. I do think both of them are going to give him all he can handle. I just still think he's the guy in that division.
Okay, that's fair to say. It's fair to say. I mean, I know they've been speaking heavily on trying to dethrone him as they should, or as anybody should. I mean, the same conversation can be said about the Saints, the Panthers, and the Bucs trying to dethrone me from the NFC South. So, it'd be interesting to see, man. It'd definitely be interesting to see. Any sleeper teams for you?
Depends on what you consider a sleeper. If I had to pick a sleeper,
like you picked the Browns, like the Browns was a sleeper.
I do think Wop said it earlier. I think Ravens. I mean, if the Chargers got in, that's not a sleeper to me because I feel he's on the verge anyway. So he's just fulfilling the next step in his evolution.
Sure. Same thing we said with the Titans. Like if he goes 10-6, it's like okay.
Yeah, exactly right. So I like Ravens in the AFC. I think that's a good call. The NFC, I don't really see a sleeper in the NFC because anybody that has the ability to make a run in the NFC, it's not a sleeper. If I made a Super Bowl run, I'm not a sleeper. That's a bounce back. I'm expected to do certain things. I've done certain things in the past. If Buccaneers returns back to glory, that's not a sleeper. He was a playoff team. The Saints made the playoffs. The 49ers showed, even though he took over a bad team, that guy's got skill. Eagles show potential. So I don't see somebody that we are not talking about right now that's going to come out and do something entirely different and make a drastic jump. So I don't per se see a sleeper on the NFC side.
What about the Bears or the Lions? They going to be considered sleepers if they made a deep run in the playoffs?
If the Bears didn't, maybe I'd say them. I played Lions and I beat him, but I watched a lot of his games and he has potential and he's on the verge. So to me, if he won 2 or 3 more games and actually made the playoffs, he was in that conversation all the way until the last week. I don't think he's a sleeper because there's potential there. When I think of sleepers, I think of somebody like Joe Deasy going to the AFC Championship. That's a sleeper. Nobody has that on their radar. Nobody will predict that. Nobody is talking about that. So
I mean, that's why I said the Browns. Nobody. I mean, you said the Browns was good or whatever, but you couldn't have told me he won an AFC Championship. Not no new owner year 1 out of the AFC. That wasn't a shock.
The Browns, not to me. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you guys and say, "Oh, I knew he was going to the AFC Championship." I felt he was a good owner. I felt he had a good scheme. I felt he was a good player, and he played the game in a way to where he would keep allowing himself a chance to win. I didn't know how far he would go, but that's why I was high on him earlier in the season. So,
I was going to say one of your first shows or whatever, you picked him as the Browns as a sleeper for the AFC side, and he pulled through.
Yeah, because there was no way. There was no way you told me he would have got past Cletus and then to make the AFC Championship game. No way. Because he was so new. You know what I'm saying? He was so new, and a lot of these guys are already, in their scheme, in their rhythm. You know what I'm saying? Like we always talk about, year 3 is usually Cletus's year. So for him to just bypass all of that and make it that far was impressive. And I know I slept on him.
yeah, I don't know. I think you guys all did a good job on the people that you might be watching for. I think it is interesting to see what Niners with a full season, Vikings with a full season, and who's the other, Eagles with a full season can do. I think they'll add some interesting quirks to the mix. But they showed, all of those guys showed flashes of, hey, like I'm a player when it's all said and done. So I guess that's why I don't consider any of them sleepers per se.
Yeah. I know. Yeah, I know, and I know what you mean by that. But it was just, because everybody, to be honest with you, I don't feel like, and I've watched a lot of games, I don't feel like everybody's easily to dominate. You know what I'm saying? Like, even Joe Deasy, I watched one or two of his games, he just throws himself out of the game. You know what I'm saying? His play calls sometimes I didn't agree with, and just sometimes he just threw himself out of the game. It wasn't really like he was that bad, in my opinion. So, and, anybody, it's any given Sunday in this league, in my opinion. Do you agree?
Yeah, I do. I do. I think the biggest key to this game, and I've said this all along, is consistency. If you look at Cleveland, like the reason I think he surprised everybody, Cleveland doesn't have a complex formula. He does a few things.
Oh, no, it's simple.
Consistently does them all the time. And it's a matter of, can you go in there and stop them? WAP has a simple formula, but can you stop it? Like, at the end of the day, like, you don't need to be damn Air Coryell, and you don't need to be like some offensive mastermind. You just need to master the simple, basic concepts in the game. And if you execute at a higher level and you have better athletes, you're going to win a lot of those games. I'm going to give you an example. When you played Green Bay, he locked up that PA crosser play. And I watched that game, and I said to myself, ain't this a bitch? Me and Boone knew it was coming, did the same things. The only difference with me and Boone when we played you was we didn't get the picks. Paya actually got the picks. We played the same styles of defense. We had the same reads. We took away the same things. The difference was Paya got the breaks. We didn't get the breaks.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, the game is not really complex. It's just a matter of who can consistently outperform the other person. Period.
Yeah, no, I agree. Nothing wrong with that. Real quick, while I got you on here, man, I know the Titans spoke on it. I spoke on it. I know me and Cletus kind of spoke on it, man. What's up with that second league, man? You had made a mention about that, and making the top heavy guys, dog fight it out, and take the team and use that same playbook, man. Have you put some thoughts to that? Can we make that happen this Madden or what?
You know what? Since enough people are asking about it, Titans did hit me up too. I will seriously put thought into that if enough people want to do it. I know we all enjoy the game. I know we all have fun. And I say the way you're going to get better is to actually get reps on this game. What I like about that concept, why I came up with it is, I think it'd be really interesting and create some unique matchups and really force people to scheme and put together things. Like, if I get my Giants, I got to really, that's a challenging playbook. You can have all the personnel in the world, but it's cool. You won't see the same things over and over. You won't see 95 people running one formation or 95 people, because everybody's going to have different little nuances that you got to study and delve into. So I'll give it serious consideration and give you guys a shout back on that. Just depends on how many people are interested in doing it.
Right. It's like if you run a 4-3 and you end up drawing a 3-4 team, you're going to have to actually build around that team's scheme. I think it'd be really cool to actually focus on, instead of drafting like some really tall receiver that you really like, you might have to draft based off of the scheme that they run and certain attributes rather than just pure skill.
Yeah, and that's how I like it. Anybody can sit there and run what they consider to be the meta, and 9,000 people all want to run 3-4 odd and things of that nature. But hey, guess what? If you're the Giants and you got 5-2 in your playbook and you ain't got no 3-4, you got to figure something out. So that's what I like about it. It'll be pretty fun.
Well, I told you I can't run a 4-3. Never did it, can't do it. I'll be in nickel or dime all game or something. You know what I'm saying? And then how much does that limit a player like myself? You know what I'm saying? Do I force to adjust it and things like that? I'm cool with it, especially if we randomly, like we do it live like this and we just randomly pick the names out the hat.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm definitely with that. I'll do that. I would definitely join that.
I know Wop said he had a question earlier.
Yeah, he said he had to leave though. I think he had to go to work. So, I'm gonna probably jump off here too in a little bit. Thank you for jumping in. Titans, man, you got any closing remarks? Ty, you got anything you want to discuss?
No, I really would like to have it to where somebody can work up a little fun story, or maybe we can do an excerpt on the owner's box about odds for all 32 teams for next season, just for fun. We all know it's kind of a down time of the year. Everybody's looking forward to free agency and the draft. I like what you guys had to say about the older guys in the draft, and I agree with it 100%. I'll talk to the other admins in regards to some of these switches. It would be cool to see somebody take a shot on Aqib Talib and give him a shot. Right now, you can't consider him because he's a liability, even though he shouldn't be at this point. I don't know. It'd be real interesting to see how the draft goes and how things shake down and the tactics people use to rebuild their teams. Just looking forward to getting season 4 underway. That's all I got.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. Chase, you got any closing remarks?
Not really. Just looking forward to the next season. Good luck to everybody. Shake some things up.
Definitely. Yeah, myself, man. Real interested to see how these teams who are lower in record, how they use their draft picks. They use them wisely. What deals are being made. And I'm really just ready to get back to it, man. I'm ready to get back to the field, man. I'm ready to get back to the position I was in. I felt some type of way. I only lost one game to the NFC, and it was the game that really mattered. Everything else was irrelevant. So I'm ready to get back to work, man, and jump on the field. I probably won't make the draft. Maybe, I don't know. So we'll go from there. Ty, you see the trades I made, man? How you feel about them trades I made?
Honestly, I don't know what Jags was thinking, but it's good for you. At the end of the day, considering we discussed it, hey, like we don't have a ton of cap to work with, for you to make, first of all, locking up Dion was big on the franchise tag, and then to pull off a trade of that caliber. I think it's real crafty and shrewd on your part. It was good GMing by you. I'm not going to doubt Jags, though. That guy's proven he knows what he's doing with building his teams. He's proven that He knows what's going on in terms of team building. Obviously, he felt he could make that move, and it's not going to hurt him. And he's seen something from it. Can't question any of the moves that guy's made. So I think it's a good trade for both of you guys. I think it's really crafty of you to stay hungry and try to look at ways to build your team. I didn't have a one. I pulled off a trade to where now I have 2 second-round picks, which I think in close proximity, which I think are really going to really help me. I made some moves to shed some older contracts and some bigger names that I could have held on to. But like me and you talked about last episode with Doc, between Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie, Jason Pierre-Paul, and Snacks Harrison, it's $25 million off my books. Could I have squeezed another season out of them? Yeah, but it wasn't necessary. I have guys that can do the same thing they can do for much less money. So normally I'm not a big draft guy, but with 2 high second-round picks that are basically 2 late first, I think I can get some really good solid impact players to come in and make a difference right away. I like the way Davis Webb ended the season, so we'll see what happens. Returning Darius Jackson, excited about that, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, no, I agree. And, and I was fine with trading. Me personally, I don't mind trading, but I just want to trade on the other side of the conference. That way, I don't regret that trade or have to play that person twice a year and things like that. That's always my mindset.
You know what's funny? So, I'm one of the only ones that feels differently about that. I know a lot of people feel that way. My thing is this. I get it. You don't want to make your nemesis stronger. At the same time, I never worry about what nobody else is doing. I mean, I watch, especially during division, because I got to deal with that. At the same time, if me and you can do business and it's going to benefit me, I don't give a damn about, oh, well, you got this guy and I got to face him. I'm not worried about that. I'm looking about what I need to do to better my team. So I can really care less. I'll trade in division. Don't care if I got to play him twice a season. If I can get rid of him, there's a reason why. I'm more focused on me and what I do as opposed to, oh, well, what is Gates going to do? I don't care what Gates does with him.
Yeah. No,
but I don't fault that strategy either.
I'll say it again.
But I don't fault people that don't want to trade individually in conference. I just don't worry about what other people are doing. I worry about what I'm doing, because if I play my game correctly and I execute correctly, none of that other stuff matters. If I don't play my game correctly and I don't execute correctly, I'm not going to do well. It's that simple. It's not a matter of who you have over there, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I just like eliminating threats. It's just, for me, it's just one less person to worry about. I was thinking about trading Freeman. I still will. But I don't want to trade him with somebody like the Bucks. It's like, dude, like I went from the guy you couldn't tackle to now I got to worry about tackling him every time touching the ball.
Right.
It just eliminates one less threat for me. So that's my whole mindset behind it. To each his own, man. To each his own.
No, I got you.
To each his own. But yeah, we'll definitely see what's gonna happen. I'm not taking that 5-11 crap seriously.
5-11, man.
That's not.
Hey,
that's not.
Y'all heard it here, folks. 5-11. I'm gonna finish 4th in the division. WAP's gonna finish 1st. Eagles, everybody's interested. He's gonna finish 2nd. Mundo's gonna leapfrog me. I'll be hard pressed to get.
Eagles hasn't done anything, and Eagles hasn't done anything to finish 2nd.
I'm just saying,
yes,
you can mark it down here.
Yes,
those are my predictions. 4-12, 5-11. Here I come.
Titans going 9-7. I'm gonna try to go 15-1. Take no sim losses. At least my goal this year again is to try to beat the NFC, all the NFC games. I'm gonna try to at least do that again. I gotta get back to the Super Bowl, man, or it's irrelevant for me. So came up here talking shit on the owner's box and losing in the playoffs, man. That don't sit well with me.
You know what? It's funny because, and I know you called me after the game, and I was in a meeting, so I couldn't get back. And I was like, I'll call you when I get out, but I wasn't able to. And I watched that game, and I was thinking to myself, wow, the one guy in this league that preaches reading is fundamental. I watched it.
Right.
And some of the throws you were making, it's so funny, and it's why I enjoy watching games, because I know there's a difference in when you're in the game and when you're watching the game. Because a lot of times when I see you make certain throws, guys were clearly covered, they were forced throws, and there were other guys open. And especially when you got down, you really went to trying to force the ball into Julio. I get your philosophy because you got to do what you've done all season, and he was damn near the MVP of the league. So I get why you did it. It just was uncharacteristic of you.
Yeah, Boone said the same thing.
To play that way.
Yeah, Boone said the same. Boone called me and said this. Well, I talked to Boone. He said the same exact thing. I mean, the first half, first half, I wasn't as focused. Had the little one running around, but none of that's that's irrelevant. You know what I'm saying? So, I was making terrible reads. But then the second half, I was getting the rhythm back. I felt the game coming back. I knew that.
I did too. And me and you discussed the big run he had. That's what killed you because I feel the momentum was in your way. Your way. And I did think to myself, there was a few points in the third where I was like, hey, this game might be over. But I'm telling you, as you continue to play, I was like, hey, man, Gates might F around and pull this out. But then after that run, I was like, damn it.
Because you sent me that joint, it was like second quarter. It was like, all I seen was your name come up, and they said the irony. And I was like, I looked at my phone like, I want to try to remember this moment right here because I'm going to bring this game right back. You know what I'm saying? That was my mindset, like, to address that message.
But even if you did, that's why somebody had hopped in the chat, and I forget who it was, and was like, oh, Gates is scared. I'm like, I've known Gates for years. I ain't never seen Gates scared. My thing was, it wasn't a shot or a dig. It was, hey, the one thing that you call me about after my games and get on me about, you're doing.
Yeah, Blue said the same exact thing. Like, yo, and Chase said the same thing. Like, he's like, I watched the game. He's like, yo, that was like, yo, the reads you were making were like crazy. He's like, it was forced, and it was because I was down so early. And I was just like, yo, let me just hurt because I was just going to plays that I know I've been scoring with all year. Let me just run these plays. And then Ty was always saying, yo, Pi is user. And I'm like, you're not going to out-using me. You know what I'm saying?
But that goes back to the point I was making all season. I don't know why it is that man doesn't get acknowledged on defense. Everybody, when you think of Pi, you think of run and gun, you think of offense, you think of points. I'm like, I've watched a lot of his games. You can't make mistakes against that dude. There's a few people in this league that when I play them, and I'm really going to look at that going forward, like this season, I'm going to execute that at a high level. And me and you talk about this case, you just can't throw in the middle of the field. And I put Pi in that category. Paya, Wop, and Boone are going to set up a tent in the middle of the field. When the ball is snapped, they're going to stand there in that stance with a little circle under them, and they're going to hold for about 2 seconds. And they're going to watch where your routes develop, and they're going to just drop straight back. Hit them dudes with comebacks, hit them dudes with drags, hit them dudes with flats, hit them dudes with out routes. Do not throw in the middle of the field because they're not going to chase you all over the field like you do, Gates, or I do, or Cletus. They're just going to eat you up from the 20 to the 20 and all the way back. You cannot throw in the middle of that field.
Yeah. So now, like I said, I mean, I take no credit from him. He earned it. He earned that win because I knew, man, I felt that shit coming back. I was like, I'm bringing this right back. And I couldn't. So he earned it. Just motivates, man. It's just motivation for next year, this season.
It's funny, as good a season as it was, it's one of the few times where I didn't do what I wanted to do, but I still enjoyed the season. But that being said, glad it's over and done with because really, really want to have a solid season here. I'm not one of those dudes that likes to live in the past. I'm not one of those dudes that thinks I'm owed the past because in the past I've done so-and-so. I feel like I need to get out there this season and reestablish some things. I got a lot of good pieces. I got a good running game. I play solid defense, even though it doesn't get the credit because normally I'm a top 1 or 2 defense, and I've been staying consistently around 9 or 10, which is still pretty good. But I just want to get back to the basics, and I want to get back to people going, hey, when you play this guy, like that's one thing I took pride in. Tell you what, to finish 6-10 and be playing games in the middle of the season with 11 and 12 people watching the game, just knowing, hey, forget what this guy's record is. We know when he plays like he's capable. It was good, but I just want to get back to put some dubs up, man.
Yeah, it was definitely one of the best seasons, man. Around. I had fun a lot this season, man. And to be honest with you, sorry, man, I really do appreciate you doing this show with me because a lot of it is fuel. Fuel me to win. To just bring my competition level to fruition. It's been cool. I've been reaching out to a lot of guys. Before I was only speaking to like 2 or 3 owners. Now I'm like speaking to a lot of owners. Things I never done before. So, for me overall, it's been a great season. We got Daddy League all involved, and he's very active in the chat, things like that. We got new owners like Chase, like the Bears, who really, are not just jumping in these leagues to win. They actually try and prove themselves, and not, prove themselves on the sticks, and then also here to myself and you, because we speak on it. We speak on a lot of topics. Nobody's going unseen or unheard, and things like that. Chase, I mean, seeing something like this, like the owner's box, how does this, how do you feel like this type of thing helps the league or whatever versus the league that you run where you guys don't have a show? Does it add an incentive to it? Does it give you a little bit more motivation, things like that? Or
I think it motivates a lot. I know personally, in previous Mads and stuff, like I used to be one of those like 8-8 or lower record people, and I'm like, why is this like no one's like, I need to like reach out and figure out what's going on, and no one's willing to reach out and be like, hey, you're doing this wrong. You just do a slight adjustment here, then you do better. But I feel like here you're laying it all on the line. You're like, here's what's happening with you. Here's how you can fix it. And people are doing it, and it's making some of these people like some of these surprise people that you wouldn't think be up there in the playoffs, and they're making the playoffs now because all these tips and tricks and stuff you're actually getting on them about and pushing people to do better.
Yeah, thanks. I mean, it's funny because me and Ty, the owner's box is, to me, we call it that, whatever, but it's no difference than me and Ty's phone conversation. Basically a recorded phone conversation. Would you not agree, Ty? I mean, everything we talk about here, spend hours on the phone talking about on the phone.
Well, no, agreed, because I made that exact comment last time, and like you, I get a lot of people that hit me up. Heck, me and Chase have talked a few times with people that hit me up with things after the game, and if I can help somebody or I can spot something, I do it. I told you I had the thought for a minute because I wasn't having the best season, or I shouldn't do the owner's box. Like, it's hard to sit out here and give advice when you're not executing well and you're not doing well. But I told you the reason why I didn't and I stuck with it is because you can't be a fair weather person. You can't, when you're doing well, I'm gonna host a show and do all of this, but when I'm doing bad, I'm gonna take my ball and go home. So I manned up and I answered the hard questions every week about why, I wasn't at the level I should be at. But it's cool because, that being said, I look at it like the real NFL. Like, if you look at Bill Belichick, he played on college football. Maybe he did. I don't recall him playing college football. He didn't have a pro career, but you can't tell that man that he doesn't know the game. So at the end of the day, in regards to what anybody's record is, when you watch a lot of footage and you know how the game should be played and you know how to strategize, you could very easily look at things and break stuff down. So that's why when people ask me stuff, I'm quick to say, hey, well, here's what I'm seeing. Here's what you want to do. Here's what you want to address. So,
yeah. I mean, regardless, man, if you're winning or losing, in my opinion, if you're watching the game, like you said, like even in my game, you guys were seeing things that I weren't seeing in that moment. You know what I'm saying? Because I have to see the field, read the field, watch the user, and make the right read. Where versus you guys don't have, or you guys are just watching from a perspective. So, regardless if you're winning or losing, if you reach out to me and say, hey, you know, when that last play, circle was wide open. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, damn, I can't say, well, who are you to tell me you went 3 and whatever? If he was open, she was open. You know what I'm saying? That, if you look at me like, yo, you was calling the same 4 plays all game. To me, I might have felt like I was all over my playbook. Nothing wasn't working. She's like, yo, nah, you wasn't. You're going to call the same 5 plays.
No, I thought you called a good mix of plays.
No, I'm just saying, just in general, where you say, like, you're up here, even though you went 6 and 10, that doesn't mean you still don't have great advice. You know what I'm saying? Because you're watching the game from a whole different perspective. I can't, nobody can fault. I can't fault you for, like, I can't say, Ty, who you give me advice? You went 6 and 10.
Yeah.
That don't, you know what I'm saying? That should, good advice is good advice. You know what I'm saying? So, I think that, regardless of what our records are, we were both 1 and 15. We still know the game.
No, you're 100% right. Not only that, there's a difference between advice and execution. I can tell anybody the blueprint to beat anybody else.
Yeah.
There's a difference in this is what you need to do, and do you have the personnel to go out there and do it? Are you able to keep your mental faculties in the game to execute accordingly? If there's something going on in the game, can you adjust? So you're right. I always tell people there's a big difference between gameplay and execution.
Yeah, like I knew that Packers were gonna run the ball. I just wasn't expecting that damn juke to be that good. I mean, good God, you know his juke was sick. You know what I'm saying? he juked like people. Like he juked like 3 good. I mean, like 2 of them jukes he did was like he juked the whole team. I wasn't expecting that, you know. So I agree. It's execution versus.
And think of it this way. Think of it this way. I mean, what head coach out there in real life is not only being there at presence, coaching all the players, telling them how to play, but then actually running out there and doing it, and then on the side controlling all the financial stuff. So, as a video game, you're having to worry about all these different factors as well. And it's not like you can be the coach and know the game, but you actually have to go out there and like do everything at once at the same time. So.
Yeah, you got to make the plays. You got to run the ball. You got to do everything. Yeah, it makes sense. Makes total sense. But yeah, I definitely appreciate you 2 brothers jumping on here, especially you, Chase, man, being a new owner. Hopefully, you sparked a couple other people to jump on here. I think I got the Browns coming up, man. I locked in and talked to the Browns. I know he wants to talk. I mean, I asked him to come on the show. He said he'll do it, so we'll try to get him on right before this week 1 start. To do that, Chase, you're more than welcome to come back on whenever you feel necessary. I know that you really want to put your head in the dirt and get your work in. Ty said he's not going to be as verbal this season coming up, but you'll still be co-hosting. You're just going to be just talking from the owner's box perspective, right?
Yo, I won't talk nothing Giants related. Let them ask questions.
All right, then we're not talking nothing Giants. I'm gonna continue to talk my talk, piss people off. Just to motivate, gotta sell the show. It is what it is. I can't come up here and be politically correct every week. Nobody want to hear that. Some people still won't get it. The list is still coming back out, the get it together list. Everybody's on a reset. Everybody's still on a reset, except for Doc and Moondog. Y'all are still on that list for me. I had high hopes for you guys. You guys are still on the list, but everybody else gets a reset.
I do got one thing to end the show with. Speaking about what you said, a lot of people listen to the show, and your phone gets blown up, my phone gets blown up, and I get DMs and I get all kinds of things. Hey, you said this on the show, and you said that. The show is fun. Like you said, use the show for positive motivation. Like, don't worry about what Gates has to say. Don't worry about what Ty has to say. If you believe in you and you feel like you got something to bring to the table and something to offer, go out there on the field and prove it. Like, stop waiting for Gates to respect you. Stop waiting for Ty or Whop or anybody to respect you. At the end of the day, look at what Chiefs did. Like, Pio won everything, and Pio is still being ranked 3rd. So at the end of the day,
but we gave him props though.
What we get? What's that?
I said, but we get like when the Chiefs did this thing, the first thing I said was, yo, like, you know what I'm saying? One word to him, respect. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, right. But I'm saying, but on the flip side, Pio went through the best teams in the NFC, and he's still being ranked 3rd. So the point I'm trying to make is,
Will ranked 3rd.
Right. But all I'm saying at the end of the day, and it's not negative to us on the show, I'm saying, like, don't take what's said on the show to heart. Go out there and play your game and do what you do. And at the end of the game, whether anybody respects you, doesn't respect you, if you can put that little trophy on your name in a little group chat, does it matter who respects you? Or, hey, you know what? Cleveland said this, and that's my new motto this year. Man, pick me last. Pick against me every game. Because at the end of the day, yes, I'm going to use some things for motivation, but I'm also able to block out all of the noise and just do what I do. I don't really care who thinks I'm a contender, who thinks I'm a player. I'm gonna do what I do. I'm 5-11, and I'm gonna put it down.
I have no problem saying like this and this, and then coming back on here and saying, "Yo, my bad. You're right." You know what I'm saying? Same thing with the Saints. Like I told Saints, he hit my phone. Yo, you don't respect me. You don't respect me. You don't respect me. But the ball went 9 and whatever. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying.
Respect.
That's what I'm saying.
Respect. You know what I'm saying? Respect. You got it. yo, I was shitting on the Chiefs early on in the year. I humbly admit that I was on his ass. You like, yo, chill, nah, Mark, nah, he doing it. Yo, nah, I don't see Chiefs doing it. He did it. Yo, first thing I said was shout out to the Chiefs, even in the yo, you earned that, bro. You playing for something bigger than the owner's box. You playing for that respect. This whole season, to me, which was dope. The whole theme was about respect. You know what I'm saying? Ever since I did the first show, we did the first show to even now, everybody has something to prove. It felt like to me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody, whether they went whatever and whatever, even if it was just to be picked for that the winner of the game of that next week, they played for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was crazy to me. Like, it was so competitive this season.
That's why it was good.
Yeah, that's why it was so good. Like, when I said to Bill, like, yo, I don't see you winning no more divisions. He was like, yo, you right. Now I gotta just shut up and play football. You know what I'm saying? Like, you right, yo. Like, I heard what you said. We gonna see what's up now. I'm like, cool.
Yeah.
Cletus like, yo, you real arrogant on the show. But I respect it. I'm like, Cletus, yo, but I'll be that because I'm winning. But ultimately, it's all for motivation. You know what I'm saying? It's all for motivation. Like, when Boone wins.
You hit that right on the head, though. I give you props, and I give Watt props, and I've always said it. Y'all are real confident in yourselves, but you go out and you win the games you're supposed to win. So at the end of the day, it ain't bragging if it's the truth.
And I tip my hat. Yo, when Boone beat me year one, I was like, yo, I'm so proud of you, bro. Like you earned that. You know what I'm saying? Now you got to rep it. You know, I was like, now that you beat me, it's bigger than me. Like, it's bigger than beating me. You got to win that joint for the NFC. You know what I'm saying?
Bigger than us.
It's bigger than Nino Brown. You know what I'm saying?
We all we got.
You know what I'm saying?
It was tied that light-skinned brother from the bank. No.
Yeah, that was it. Like, yo, when the Chiefs, Chiefs, whether he knew it or not, the whole AFC was rooting for that dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had just went into war with words over AFC versus NFC with Cletus and Chargers the night before that. Like, yo, NFC is better. And I don't care who y'all bring up there. Y'all not beating us. Chiefs went right out there, came back in a fashion and won that shit. Like, yo, that's why I said to them, like, yo, Chiefs won it, but, yo, he championed that whole process for them. Because I was hating, but I was, like, dogging AFC the whole time because we was up 2-0.
But that's why, on a side note, I'm glad nobody took you off for you to go to the AFC. For a few reasons. One, you know what? I want to preserve what we have here on our side. Two, I'm on that old school Ric Flair. To be the man, you got to beat the man. Woo! Like, at the end of the day, I want to know that, you know what? I still have the potential to head into Atlanta or Washington or Seattle and bang heads with those guys. Not, oh, well, Ty went to the bowl this year because Gates wasn't there. Nah, leave it as is. I like competition. I thrive on competition. So, glad you're still in the NFC.
Yeah, me too, man. Titan said he's gonna beat Jags twice this year. I need to see it, man. He said, he humble. He's changed it and said we might split it, but I know he wants to say he's gonna beat Jags twice this year. Jags. I spoke to him. He said, "Yo, pick me to lose every game this season." So I know that I need to work that much harder to win the Super Bowl. I said, "You got it, bro. I'll pick you to lose every game this season. If that's what it's gonna take to bring your A game, I'll do that."
Hey, I'm about to roll out, man. I got a meeting, but I'm going to give Chase one piece of advice. And it's the same thing that I told Strong. Titans, you're a competitor. I love watching you games. When you take them L's, brother, man, you got to turn that page, brother. You get salty. You get tight. You be in that chat with some venom, brother. And I know it stays with you. Don't get me wrong. Take it from a guy that's lost 10 games this season. It does suck. And there are times where I used to do that same thing. And now, brother, after a loss, man, I don't even look at my player stats, bro. I put that in PlayStation mode and rest mode. I get me a drink and I move on. And I start thinking about the next game. I try to flush that process as opposed to holding on to that negativity, that bitterness, that anger. I just let it go, brother. So advice to you this season, man, you're basically a 10-digit win team at 9-7. You're right there on the border, man. A little less focus on the hard losses, man, and just more study in terms of, hey, what did I do wrong? Where did I go wrong here? Could result in 2 or 3 more games. Could result in 12-4. So it's the only
thing.
Yep. Yeah, I second that. You was just a game or two out the playoffs, man. I mean, you Ravens, Chargers, y'all just a couple games out. So if y'all just, like you say, tighten some things up, Make sure all the screws are tight. Dot all them T's and the I's, man. Y'all be straight.
Hey, last thing, actually, I do have one last thing for Titans. Something that was said earlier before I got on the show, and it's something Gates always talks about. I give Gates props for this because he always says this, and it's true. As tough as the AFC is, brother, like you have to over there try to win your division. Because if you leave it in the fate of these wild cards, brother, that's when it gets crazy. Like your mindset has to be, hey, why not be Jags? Not only am I focus on what you can control and take care of your business, but try to look at winning that division first. Because when you get past that and now you're competing with 5 other teams with 9 wins, it's brutal. And I'm going to clear this up for everybody because everybody's got this wrong. And I hear everybody say this wrong all the time. EA determines the tiebreaker in a funky way. They look at your points for and your points against, and those 2 figures are minus.
Oh, that's how they do it. Okay.
So whatever the point differential is, that's who gets the tiebreaker. It has nothing to do with your division.
They don't do like they do in the real NFL?
No. And I know because I've been in tiebreaker situations aplenty. It has nothing to do with your conference record. It has nothing to do with your division record. It's your points for and your points allowed. And I'm going to tell you guys why I'm bringing this up. And this is something I brought up to admins. I'm going to bring up again. When that's what determines the tiebreaker, and I'm up big in a game, and you're telling me I can't continue to pour it on, but I actually need that point differential to make the playoffs, you're in effect denying me a playoff spot by telling me I can't run it up. And that's serious business. You get to the final games of the season, and the Rams is 50 points ahead of me, and I had 4 games where I could have poured on an additional 70 points. You're in effect possibly denying me a playoff spot because the tiebreaker is determined by the differential between points forced and points allowed.
That's
dope. We as admins need to consider.
So knowing that now, I know you spoke on that new rule with the concede. Does that happen now? Does that come into play now? Can that still?
I think during the course of this week and weekend, obviously the new season start, we'll really get heavy into rules talks, and I'll bring that up. But that being said, boys, y'all have a good one, man. Gotta go. Got an 11:30 meeting, so I got 2 minutes here.
Yep, jump up, man. Holla at you. I'm gonna wrap it up. Chase, you good? You any last words, man? I'm getting up out of here too.
Yeah, if you're afraid to get on the show, just do it, man. It's a great opportunity for self-reflection, figure out what's going on, and I think my confidence is a lot higher now. That's for sure.
Cool, man. I appreciate you jumping on, man.
Yeah.
Definitely being in the league, man. You know, this you got a home here, so you don't have to worry about leaving. You know, as long as you want to stay in the league, man. You know, I've been in this league for a while. A bunch of guys been here, so and they're gonna rock out all the way to the next Madden too. So you don't have to worry about you know, people quitting and things like that. And guys might go on auto, but they're still around, so you don't have to worry about that. So, again, man, thanks everybody for tuning into the Owners Box. Draft is coming up. Free agency sign. You know, I think it's being advanced at 10 o'clock tonight. Post all your trades on Daddy Leagues. Don't lowball the guys. Definitely check the rules so you don't get hit with a flag, and then they gotta tell you how to cut the guy because you're gonna take the hit and you're gonna lose the player. And that's pretty much it, man. Shout out to everybody. Again, respect to the Chiefs. You did your damn thing. AFC won the Super Bowl. Shout out to y'all. Enjoy that party, live that up, and let's get back to work, man. Gates signing off. The Owners Box.